Here's a story from a distant star about a planet called Zaponia, where the people cried and shook with fear because the land was dry and the end was near. On an urgent mission to put it right, brave young Ziku, day and night, searched through space till in view came a spinning world of green and blue. Welcome to Ziku's Earth Adventure! And this is where it all begins in a world of science and earthling friends.
Good morning, all galaxies. Please note that Intergalactic Space Highway 121 is backed up to Interchange 23, and a Z-Troll tanker has broken down on Space Route 101. That's your intergalactic traffic report. Now, back to the sweet sounds of Zandoza and... This report is interrupted by an incoming transmission from Zaponia. Prime Counselor Z Zandor calling Pod Controller Ziku. Calling Ziku. Coming, Ziku.
What is that, Ziku? Stand back, it's on fire!
Zodi, Zandor. Don't worry, it's just the steam from my hot chocolate.
Zodi, Ziku? Steam? What is that?
Well, it's... I actually don't know. I'll investigate.
Ah, what is the reason why I'm calling? You sent us information about the rainfall. Now I know rain is water falling to the ground and that it comes from the clouds. But Ziku, how does the water get into the clouds? I'm told it's part of the water cycle. So, your new mission is...
Zapativi, Zandor.
Your new mission is to find out about the water cycle. I am told that rain is a very important element of the weather.
Water cycle? I'll start immediately. Over and out.
Zoot luck, Ziku. Over and out.
Zillion, can you activate Zoom? We need immediate information on the water cycle.
Already done, Miss Ziku, without the help of that pesky probe. The water cycle is really amazing. It is called a cycle because the water on Earth can evaporate, condense, and fall to Earth as rain, or even snow, over and over again. This means that on Earth, water is used over and over again.
Zaulig Zikarini, that sounds interesting. But what is condense and evaporate? We need information. Dispatch Zoom. I'll go speak to Bonnie.
Is it absolutely necessary? Oh, she's gone. Better do it for Zaponia. Activating Zoom.
Zoopity zoop zoop.
We need information on condensation and evaporation. See what you can find out. I don't know where. That is your job. Now stop jabbering and go.
Howdy, Bonnie.
Ish, Ziku!
Silig Zawet. That's cold.
Sorry. Then we just finished the spit bath, and I'll go and make you some hot chocolate, and you can go and sit near the heater, and you can try a spacesuit.
What are you doing? We filled up the bird bath yesterday. Are the birds that thirsty?
No, it's been sunny this last few days, and the water evaporated. Look, there's a mark where the water normally lies.
Evaporated? That's part of my mission. I have to investigate the water cycle and find out what condensation and evaporation mean. Zoom is supposed to be gathering up information as we speak. Zoom, come in. Oh, there you are. Gather some of these images for Zillion.
Hey, Zoom, before you pass off, let's go inside. I want to show Ziku this experiment we just did at school. Come on, check it out, man. In the experiment we just did at school, we poured water into a saucer and left it in the sun. We then marked the level of the water, and when we returned, we could see that the water level had dropped.
That's clever. What happened to the water?
Well, the water moved from the saucer into the air around it. When this happened, we said the water has evaporated. Like washing dries on the line, the washing or your spacesuit dries near the heater because the water evaporates.
But I can't see any water in the air. How do I know the water has evaporated into the air?
Our teacher told us when water vapor occurs, it is like a gas, an invisible gas.
Watch out, the kettle is smoking.
No, Ziku, it's steam.
Oh, like my hot chocolate.
Exactly. Let me show you how our teacher demonstrated it. We are going to boil water in a kettle. Then the heat will make the water evaporate more quickly. Be careful, because boiling water can burn you very badly. Now that the water is boiling, I'm going to put the saucer above the spout and we can see what happens.
Look, feel the saucer.
Yes, it has evaporated from the kettle and we have collected it again on the saucer.
There's something not right here. You said we can't see the gas once the water has evaporated. But I can see water in the saucer.
We haven't got to that part of the experiment in class yet. I can ask my teacher if you like.
Good idea. And take Zoom with you. I'll go back to the pod monitor. Thank you for all the information and the hot chocolate.
Hey, your spacesuit looks dry. Come on, Zoom, let's go.
That's because of evaporation. Goodbye. Cillian, I've sent Boogie to school with Zoom to gather information. Can you activate the monitor?
Ahead of you, Missy. Already done.
It looks like a small version of a water cycle. Very clever indeed.
Hi, ma'am. Can you give me some more information about the water cycle? You know the part of the experiment when we get to the saucer. Where can I see it if it's supposed to be gas?
Hi, Bongi. Gosh, you are so impressive. I mean, if all the students are like you, we certainly will have A students all the way at the end of the year. I'm impressed that you've come back all the way to find out about your experiment. Well done. Give us a round of applause. Hi, Bongi, here we go. Let me just draw the kettle again. That's the kettle. Okay, and that's obviously the handle. That's the lead, and I'm going to plug in the kettle. See? It's plugged in. The water in the kettle has evaporated faster than the one that you saw in the saucer. And why? Because the water in this kettle was boiled, it was hot. Therefore, evaporation happens, it moves under the saucer, and what happens? Condensation is formed here, and these droplets are then moved back into this little bowl. And what we then do, we obviously use the same water to throw it back into the kettle, and so the cycle is repeated. Like, for example, the water that's now ended up being raining on the land, flows back into the ocean, and the cycle is repeated. I certainly hope that now you do understand, Bongi.
So you mean liquid water can change into water vapor, which is a gas like this, and when water changes into water vapor, we say it has evaporated.
Well done, Bongi. We say the water has evaporated.
All this knowledge has made me so thirsty. Do we still have some galactic fizz in the cupboard, Cillian?
Yes, we have one left.
Zap it to me, Cillian!
So with evaporation, the liquid water changes into water vapor, which is a gas. And when condensation occurs, the water vapor changes back into liquid water.
Exactly. There are many examples of condensation in our daily lives. Here, blow into this mirror. Now, what do you see and what do you feel?
Hey, there must have been some water vapor in the air I breathed out, and it has condensed into water onto the mirror. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, that must be what is happening when the windscreen on my pod gets misted up. The water vapor in the air condenses onto the cool glass, and liquid water is collected on the windscreen. It is very difficult to see where I'm going when that happens.
That's why I do the driving, Miss. Miss, there seems to be a moisture alert. The condensation from your cool drink has dropped onto the floor.
Look at the water droplets on the bottle. We couldn't see the water vapor in the air, but those droplets tell us that there must have been water vapor present. The water vapor has condensed into liquid water. See? Now I think I understand condensation and evaporation.
Yes, we can hear your back, Zoom.
Zoom!
Zoom says that according to her research, Farmer Funani seems to be very dependent on rainfall and hence the water cycle. Perhaps you can speak to one of them.
Great idea. Bongi's uncle is a farmer, Farmer Funani. I'll go and speak to him.
Leave Ziku's cold drink alone. It's the last one. Zoom, come back.
Hello, Farmer Funani.
Ziku, hello. Where do you come from?
I vaporized. You look worried. Why?
Well, we haven't had as much rain as usual that we need for the crops to grow. And the dams are emptier than normal for this time of year.
We've already learned that there's a shortage of water in South Africa, and that's why the dams are so important. Most of the water comes from rain. But where does rain come from? And how does the water cycle work?
Well, all the seas and the dams are like giant saucers filled with water.
I know what happens next. The water evaporates and becomes water vapor in the air.
Yes, and when there's enough water vapor in the air, then condensation occurs. Now, the clouds are made up of lots and lots of little water droplets.
And that causes rain?
Unfortunately not. And I'm sure you've noticed that it doesn't rain every time that there is a cloud in the sky. And when there are a lot of water droplets in the cloud, they collide with each other and they grow bigger and bigger. And sometimes those water droplets get big and heavy and then they fall to the ground. And that's what we call rain. And some of that rain makes its way back to the sea again, and then the whole process starts all over again.
That's amazing. Zillion, do you copy? Download the images so we can see what Farmer Funani has been talking about. Thanks for all your help, Bongi. Would you like some galactic fizz for all your trouble?
Yes, that stuff tastes great.
I just remembered. I drank the last one yesterday. Well, I drank half of it. The rest just disappeared.
You did what?
Zoopity zoop zoop.
Apparently, Zoom took it upon herself to chemically analyze the galactic fizz and make a substitute. It seems we have some in stock.
Great! Just don't let it drip on the floor, or Zillion will send out another moisture alert.
I can imagine the condensation can be good for his equipment.
Something else I've learned.
Next time, it might cause serious damage, not just an alert, you know. Xandor calling Ziku. Come in, Ziku.
Oh, there you are, Ziku. Tell us, what have you found out about the water cycle?
Zillion, please call up the water cycle to report back to Xandor. As you can see, Captain, it's a process of evaporation and condensation. Water evaporates, meaning that it turns from liquid into gas or water vapor. When the gas and water vapor turn back into liquid, we call it condensation. Now for the water cycle. The seas and dams are filled with water. Some of the water evaporates and becomes water vapor in the air. If the conditions are right in the air, condensation might occur and a cloud will form. A cloud is a collection of water droplets. When there are many water droplets in the cloud, they collide with each other and grow bigger and bigger. Sometimes the water droplets get big enough to fall to the ground, and we call that rain. When that water evaporates, the whole process starts all over again. It is called a cycle because the water on Earth can condense, evaporate, and fall to the ground as rain or snow over and over again. This means that here on Earth, water is used over and over again.
That's why we need to save water.
Who said that?
Oh, the Earthling, sir. He's helping out with information retrieval, sir.
Oh, it's okay. Well done, Ziku and young Earthling, whoever you are. You've worked very hard for Zaponia and you were a big help to us. Thank you very much. Over and out.
over and out, and mission accomplished.
Stand by to receive data. Transponder activated. Sending data. Quadrants ZZZZZ. Information downloaded. Over and out.
Zowie! Mission accomplished. Zyazoon, Zillion. Zigazoo,
Good night, good Earth. Good luck, brave Zarponia.